I did this because I was sick. I don't want to be known as the innovator of syrup or whatever. People been drinking syrup for years. I know I picked up the cup when I started drinking with this promethazine mixed with codeine, which you all know is syrup. I started drinking it because I'm from the South, New Orleans. I was young and I watched Michael Jordan Game 6 and made me want to go right into my driveway and shoot around. Well, I was also young and I listened to Pimp C and they said we drinking that lean. It made me want to drink the lean.
The Houston rap duo Underground Kings was at the peak of its career, on the charts and on the way to a Grammy nomination, when tragedy struck in December.
That's when Chad Butler, known as Pimp C, died in a Los Angeles hotel room. The turnout at his funeral in Port Arthur showed just how much he was loved and admired in this area. Just this week, the LA County Coroner's Office ruled the rapper's death accidental and attributed it to a combination of a sleep disorder called apnea, and prescription-strength cough syrup. And our guest this morning is Bernard Freeman, known as Bun B. He is one of those who was closest to Pimp C.
Good morning, and thanks for being here. Now, you were one of Chad's best partners, grew up with him, but you're going to be doing a concert tonight.
Yes, I am.
Now, this concert is following the release of the information which says that sleep apnea and syrup, and we know that syrup on the streets usually has codeine.
Absolutely.
When you heard that, what went through your mind?
Well, it was sad, but it's a definitely real thing. You know, living in Houston, Texas, being a person that affiliates with the common man on the street, we all know that in Houston, Texas, we have a problem now with the cough syrup epidemic.
How y'all doing? You already know. DJ Screw, know what I'm saying? Screwed Up Click, A-Town, Texas. Screwed Up Entertainment. We right now in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
We at home,
we just kicking it. Yeah. We put it down there.
An accurate assessment of this whole lean epidemic, we must go back to the originators, where it started in Houston, Texas, with one DJ Screw.
Everybody want me to stop and all this and all that, but it ain't that easy, bro. It ain't that easy. It felt like death in your stomach when you stop doing it. You gotta learn how to stay.
Wayne's seizure may have been caused by the drug Sizzurp. So what exactly is Sizzurp? Well, despite its growing popularity, the drug can be highly addictive and very dangerous.
It's the bizarrely named beverage that produces a high so intoxicating. Hip-hop artists have been under its influence for years.
Alcohol makes you mad, and Sizzurp makes you happy. Makes you calm, makes you laugh at jokes.
Known as Sizzurp, this glorified cocktail calls for multiple ounces of the prescription cough syrup promethazine with codeine, mixed with soda and Jolly Ranchers for added sweetness. But thirsty fans aren't taking doses to prevent colds.
Codeine is in the same class as morphine. People like to take it for getting kind of a body high from it or a sense of euphoria.
Like we established, exactly what the drug is and what it does. Here are some of the people, some of the artists who actually died by, mixing not just codeine, but also other drugs like Xanax. And that's also what we're going to focus on. We're not just going to focus on lean, we're going to focus on Xanax, because a lot of times it's a drug cocktail, that meaning cocktails, meaning that drugs that are mixed up together, alcohol, painkillers, and Xanax. And all this, pretty much, especially the Xanax and the Percocet suppresses, your respiratory system. And a lot of people actually die because they stop breathing, like Pimp C also died. The newest person that died recently in November was Lil Peep. He was found on a tour bus. He actually overdosed, from a lethal drug cocktail of Xanax, Percocets, alcohol, and other such drugs. So it's definitely an epidemic. And you see Mac Daddy here, Chris Cross. That Mac Daddy make you jump. He was also found dead from a lethal dose of cocaine and heroin in May of 2013. So what is Xanax? Let's talk about that for a minute.
Heath Ledger, Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston all had traces of the anti-anxiety drug Xanax in their bodies when they died. In Australia, in the past year, there has been a Xanax explosion, prescribed more than 1 million times by family doctors, and that's not counting the growing black market. And that's frightening because what so many don't realise is that Xanax is more addictive than heroin. Xanax is the most potent anti-anxiety drug on the market, a powerful version of Valium that works fast. What concerns Tanvir Ahmed is how powerfully addictive Xanax is.
We know Heath Ledger had Xanax in his system. We know Michael Jackson had Xanax in his system. And, of course, Whitney Houston. They're desperate. They've tried this drug. They tried that drug. And in the benzos, the sedatives, that whole group of drugs, the most potent available drug is Xanax.
Dr. Peter Breggin is an American psychiatrist who has been warning about the dangers of Xanax since it was first approved for use in the US.
Over 20 years ago, you thought Xanax should be taken off the market.
If it had been taken off the market, we probably have 1 million or more people alive who are dead now.
Does it even work for what it's meant to work for, anxiety?
It will work if you take one once in a while to dampen your emotions. It works by disabling your brains. You will get some effect of reducing your anxiety. But there's a lot of problems with it. The more you take it, the more the brain's fighting back, and the more you're creating anxiety. So in the studies that we use for FDA approval for Xanax, by 8 weeks, the patients were worse. They were in serious withdrawal. Up to 1/3 of them couldn't even get off the drug. After 8 weeks, they couldn't get off the drug. That's how addictive it is.
Everybody want me to stop and all this and all that, but it ain't that easy, blood. It ain't that easy.
Pour four, I'm dropping muddy out of space. Kid, cut, drink. My guillotine.
Statistic will show that over 33% of rap songs now promote, promethazine, lean, these different type of, narcotics in music. And with promotion is influence. And Lil Wayne even told you that he was even being influenced by Pimp C. And a lot of the Southern rappers were, influenced, by DJ Screw, and other people who made that popular down there in Houston and in the South. But let's look at the side of the withdrawal. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Drying out from drinking lean, I don't know, I guess probably the worst feeling in the world. It tear your body down, it tear your mind down. You've been doing something for so long, it's kind of like food, you know what I'm saying? It's like starving, you know what I'm saying? It's undescribable. It's just terrible, terrible pain.
So you were physically sick, right? Like you were sick all the time?
Yep, physically sick, man. I was so bloated and overweight, I was almost 290 pounds. So when I got in there, I just started working out, drinking water, reading, and planning and plotting on what I was going to do when I got out. And it just kept me hopeful, you know what I'm saying? And it just, it made the time, I tried to make the time work for me the best I could.
What was the most extreme you were using? At the time you were using more than you should have been. What would you say that looked like? Like how much lean were you drinking? What were you doing?
I drank lean every day, smoked blunts every day. So how did it look like? I guess for maybe 6-7 years straight. That's just, that was my daily thing. It was my normal routine, so I can't say how much. It was just nonstop. I guess smoking and drinking until I fell asleep from when I wake up. That was my life.
And so did you realize that you had a problem, or did jail point that out to you where you realized you had a dependency?
Once I was in that prison, I can look back at it and see it, but during those years, it was kind of like, I can't say I thought I had a problem. Well, I just didn't think that I could stop it. It just, it's hard for me to explain it, but it's just like my daily routine for so long that I knew people drunk lean and smoked blunts and did drugs and stopped, but I didn't think that I could stop. I never even envisioned me never not doing it.
with lean and other drug use being promoted in more than 33% of hip-hop songs a day, and people dropping like flies all over the street. Lil Peep, rappers like Pimp C, rappers now even suffering seizures from, lean use. And just recently, Fredro Santana, Chief Keef's cousin, was the newest person to succumb from prescription drug abuse and lean abuse. And I think what we can do here is look at Gucci Mane's story and look at it as a story of inspiration, someone who went through all the way to the bottom of any situation, especially this situation here, and kind of turned his life around. And one thing that I heard him say is vision. At a time he done it so long, it pretty much became a habit. And what people don't understand is that when you do this, anything for so long, but when you do this type of drug for so long, it changes the chemical structure of your brain, so you don't feel normal. In fact, you feel sick unless you have this substance in your body. So it's a disease, and I think we can start here to try to get some, closure and healing, for people who have, been through this, because it's an epidemic. And I read the comment section, of a live stream that I was doing the other day, and I compared this, the lean and the prescription pill epidemic to crack cocaine, and somebody said in the comment section that it was worse. So in part 2, we're going to go deeper, but I hope that this, helped somebody today. I know it would reach somebody. I know somebody's out there who's drinking or popping. You have to make the choice today to stop, because tomorrow could be the next day. The next day could be the next day. It could be 10 years from now. But one thing we do know is that this stuff is not, healthy for your body, and it's an epidemic, and it's causing widespread pain and death. And these rappers are not going to show you the dark side of it. They're only going to show you the buzz, the good feeling, the sex, and the partying and stuff like that. They're not going to show you the downside. So this is your brother O Got It Hip Hop News, uncensored, exclusive. Go into the description box and make sure you follow us on all our social media sites. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more exclusives. Also, this is important. Please share this video. Share. Peace, and have a good one.